You can spend 20 years doing real healing work and still not have the one thing that you actually need to complete the bridge. This is for anyone who's done the work, either on behalf of yourself or on behalf of the clients you work with. I'm talking breath work, movement, therapy, trauma healing, years of it, and still finds themselves more sensitive, more aware, and somehow no more capable of carrying what they're trying to carry. If that's you, if that's someone you love, stay with me. We're about to name something that almost no one in this field will. But first, we need to clear something up. What we do, this ain't your grandma's somatics. We have conversations on the regular with trained somatic practitioners, and they're not very interesting. And this isn't to disrespect them or to disrespect you. It's to distinguish what we hear from what we do, and it's extremely important. There's an old saying that the ego wants to be right and wisdom wants results. There's an incredible rightness in the domain of somatics. It accurately maps the relationship between body and mind, especially in matters of trauma and self-regulation. So it gets results, but we need to be clear about what those results are. Healing removes interference. It quiets the noise. It gives you access to yourself again. Our question has always been, and then what? What happens next? You're a computer, right? And you have an operating system. Sometimes you watch things that you shouldn't, and you get a little thing called a virus. Go with me on the metaphor. And that virus infects the way that your system runs. And so it makes everything slower, creates glitches, and causes repeat errors and uncontrollable crashes. You see where I'm going? The current world of somatics does something really important. It removes the virus. So you're neutral and the crowd goes wild. But this is where we step in, your guardians. It does not upgrade the operating system. Current somatics heals the pain, but it doesn't strengthen the system underneath. It asks for a lighter load, but it doesn't broaden the shoulders carrying it. Here are the primary understandings of somatics: body awareness and nervous system regulation. This includes breath work, trauma work, feeling sensations, emotional release, and becoming more present. This is by far the dominant perception. Movement-based healing, including practices like yoga, Feldenkrais, the Alexander technique, dance, or mindful movement, they're used to improve well-being. It's a niche therapeutic modality, and it's something adjacent to psychology, coaching, or trauma therapy, and these are fantastic. They're needed, and they're brilliant additions to the world of mind and body integration. But they leave you at best healed, sensitive, open, but neutral. A rebooted, slightly more self-aware operating system. And they leave you with one gaping hole. Sensation isn't always information. Leaving trauma aside and focusing on sensory awareness, when you look for things, you find things. If I tell you to spot something brown in seconds, in like 10 things in your immediate presence are going to fit that. Things that were 10 seconds ago, invisible to you. But also, who cares? Sensation can lead to heightened intuition, but it doesn't necessarily do so. The linchpin is the architecture between that which filters signal from noise. So most can't tell the difference between fear and intuition, and maybe, dare I say, a touch of heartburn. Most of those who fall into these practices are those who test to asset on our Somatic Skins quiz, what we might call the sovereign empath. It's a self-reinforcing loop, if you will. So sensitive people are drawn to sensitivity practices. But without what we do at the Prestige, you wind up feeling more, without being able to do more. So instead of this resulting in greater empowerment, this connection winds up becoming a liability. So you'll feel more, but you'll also get overwhelmed more easily. And instead of your sensitivity acting as the superpower that it was marketed to be, it becomes kryptonite, forcing you to retreat from your own feelings. I sat with someone recently, 20 years in this work. She's a practitioner and a teacher, both. Advanced tools, deep frameworks, more training than most people in this space will ever have. And she was on the cusp of real burnout. Yeah, a badass in knowledge and expertise by any measure. And when it came to her own vision, her own goals, realized she had a hard time holding back tears. She wasn't making the money she wanted. She was carrying guilt as a parent, trying to hold all of that against the demands of running a business and being present for a family. She felt unsupported. She had even lost track of how to advocate for herself anymore. She was an afterthought in her own career and life, and the pressure was getting to be too much. Her health wasn't good. And she said something to me that I haven't stopped thinking about. What good is building 97% of the bridge if the last link isn't there? That link, that's what we do. This is this kind of sensitivity without supporting architecture, the domain of status quo somatics, it's neutrality amplified, and it's actually presence that hurts. It's extremely disempowering. Look, getting to neutral is fine, but this is not a world that respects neutrality. It requires action, direction, nervous system organization that empowers you to solve, sense, act, and adapt. These are not ideas. They are true capacities expressed with intention. This is where the prestige model is a cut above the rest. You can learn to heal here. You can learn to center. Our model does indeed address both, with extraordinary accuracy and depth, I might add. But hear me. We teach you also how to move from center with conscious embodiment, and it is powerful. In our skins model, each skin is an adaptive strategy. Each skin is a highly capable way of organizing under pressure. Each skin grants access to real strengths. These are not static personality traits or fixed birthrights. They're technologies that cultivate and express your true range with conscious command. We'll help you heal if that's what's needed most, and we'll train you to center if that's also what's needed. And then we'll help you build the capacities that let you solve harder problems, carry greater responsibility, remain composed under pressure, and then deliberately embody the qualities that this moment requires and that your vision is inviting from you. We'll train you to become a grand formidable. If this is something that you have been looking for, you should totally reach out to us. We are enrolling for our fall season now. Registration ends the end of this month, depending on when you're seeing this video. But don't hesitate to contact us. We'll talk human to human, and I'll get to know you and your vision a little more. You can get to know me, answer any questions, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for joining us so far, and I'll see you next time.